So my video I had made got muted because apparently when I was playing the guitar, an artist must have took notice of it or something and muted the track, so I gotta re-record the fucking video. Oh, isn't that just fantastic, YouTube? I suppose it could be worse. But, yeah, that's kind of weird, if you ask me. Anywho. Apparently they found THC on asteroids. Yeah. They found marijuana in space. How about that? Got the aliens saying, "Take me to your dealer," so they can make our crop circles. I don't know, YouTube. Maybe when aliens are getting stoned, that's probably how they get crop circles. They go, "Dude, check this out." I don't know. That would certainly explain finding marijuana on asteroids in space. Aliens getting stoned and then deciding when they get stoned they're gonna do crop circles on other planets and stuff. Other planets similar to ours, maybe. A pipe tobacco beats being out of cigarettes. I'll tell you that much. Speaking of marijuana, man, at what point did it become okay to throw cancer patients in prison for it? Because that's what it's come down to, man. You're no longer busting long-haired, hippie-like teens in their basement smoking it. It's now, oh, you're throwing a cancer patient in prison for it. That's just, you know what I'm saying? When you think about shit like that, because not everyone smokes pot to get their jollies off, you know what I'm saying? Or uses it for that matter. But, it's whatever, YouTube. So I don't know how the fuck my last video got silenced for a copyrighted song played by an artist. I don't know which one. Because all I did was play the guitar and then go off on my usual rant and rave about the drug war. And 2 bills were to pass in Congress. It would end the federal ban on marijuana and it would leave it to the states to decide. And the Bureau of Tobacco, Alcohol, and Firearms would be in control of it, basically, and how much to regulate it and stuff. So, it's a great start towards legalization for the entire country, YouTube. Obama's like, you should be more concerned about the economy. Well, how about those smaller states of the country where work is harder to find? You know, the thing about legalization, it brings in tourism and it brings in cash. Now, with Republicans, though, Obama's not a Republican, but money talks, bullshit walks. You know, Matt Mead, the governor of Wyoming, is a Republican. And he says he's all about God's natural resources. That's how he, you know, kisses Christian ass for votes. That's basically kind of what he did there. But then you tell them, well, if you're all about God's natural resources, then did you know that, Mr. Matt Mead, did you know that the first Bible was printed on hemp, and it said that God gave cannabis for man to share? Oh, but you don't support cannabis and hemp, but I thought you were all about God's natural resources. Oh, the coal, the salt, and the oil. Okay. And those three alone are making our state some decent change, but can you imagine Wyoming adding cannabis and hemp to that? Chain cash crop. You see what I'm saying? Matt Mead could be swimming in a bathtub of cash right now, just sitting there sipping some champagne, like, shh, what's up? Any Republican would look at you and tell them that to any Republican that don't sound appealing. You don't have to be a Republican. That's just, one of those things. You throw on your swimming trunks, you jump into a jacuzzi tub full of cash, and you sit there sipping champagne like, yep. Money isn't everything, you two, but in some cases, when you need to focus on the economy, okay, well, there are ways to fix the economy. Creates a whole bunch of jobs. Well, you need to be more focused on climate change. Okay, climate change, even if we didn't pollute, climate change would be unavoidable because Mother Earth is just going through changes. It's how it is. You think about this for a second. At one point, the entire globe was in what they call an ice age. The ice age is gone, and now we have the North and the South Pole. So, my point exactly. Yep. And then amongst these times, you get another thing I talked about in the video too. I don't even know how the fuck the audio got silenced. It's beyond me, man. But shit. When I'll tell you what though, there's some crazy shit happening out in our world today. This girl killed herself because, her dad was mad at her. You like messing around, getting all messed up, do ya? Well, decides he's going to shave her head and videotape it to humiliate her for getting quote-unquote messed up. That's what they're saying, but they don't exactly tell you, what she was getting messed up on. It could have been for a bunch of different things. But you don't have to shave your daughter's head off. If she's just getting messed up on pot, that shit cures cancer. The fuck is this? But then somehow the tape got leaked online, and the father's claiming he didn't release it online, and there was a third party involved. And it's like, well, that third party shouldn't have existed, man, because your daughter not only just got ripped apart on YouTube like no fucking other, the whole world pretty much saw that shit. And then on top of that, she gets to school the next day, and all the people are making fun of her for her hair and shit. It's like, dude, that would not be easy on anyone. I tell you what. But I remember when I was in high school, I had a problem with ditching class. And as punishment, my parents said, you get a fucking haircut and you shaving your head. And I had hair down to about here, but this ponytail is literally past that, like just about a couple inches longer than, so I've actually grown my hair out quite nicely. That's beside the point. She then took her life on a highway bridge somewhere, and and people go, well, you don't understand, Josh, or what, that YouTube is a fucking ass when it comes to shit like this. And irrelevant of whether or not whoever posted the fucking video of her getting her head shaved, that's irrelevant to the point. The thing of it is, YouTube, even if we didn't have social media, and if this would have happened in a day and age without social media, the worst that would have happened was, she would have gone to school and got laughed at. That's, in itself, when you're surrounded by your peers and mocked like that, especially when you're in high school and you seem to get judged for your looks and shit. And really, it's irrelevant when you get out of high school, but to a degree, it is relevant because even when you get out of high school, you're still going to get people judging you for the way you look. You choose to act or dress a certain way, you're going to get certain people looking at you. And me, personally, a 24-year-old adult walking around with long-ass hair and spikes. Some people look at me and go, who the fuck is this hoodlum? Some people be like, I know that guy. You know what I'm saying? Either way you shape it, she didn't have to kill herself. She could have gotten a wig. But when you're in high school, and that shit seems to matter, and it's just one of those things, and it's like, fucking Christ, man. At what point do you ask yourself, see, where's your God now? People say God loves all his children, they were all his creation. So at what point do you ask yourself this, he lets this poor girl kill herself because of her fucking hair. And I want to bitch about my trichotillea. Fuck that shit. I realize it's just fucking hair, you know. And from a distance, my hair looks gorgeous, and I ain't worried about it, honestly. It'll grow back. But you see this kind of crap happening in the news, and you go, okay then. Now, in some cases, if, you know, when she gets shaved, you get her head shaved, you know, I guess this is her, you know, and some parents are just strict like that, you know, and that's just the thing of it. And some psychologists have stepped in on the story and said that's really bad, blah, 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 blah. Now, some parents would disagree with the psychologists and say, have you ever raised monstrous children, blah, 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 blah. And they sit there and they go off on their spew about how their kids are rotten and they misbehave all the goddamn time and, you know, blah, 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 blah. And it's just, everyone's got an opinion. Assholes are like opinions, man. Everyone's got one. Plain and simple. Excuse me. I can sit there and say I'm a decent guitarist, and some people sit there and say, actually, no, you suck at guitar. I'd be like, oh, that's your opinion. I'm sticking to mine. Honestly, I don't know what song I could have played on the guitar that could have gotten the audio silenced on my video. Like, for real. Let's just go see how many views were on the last video. And freaking, I got the little message below it saying, the track in this video has been silenced because the artist has made a claim, on a copyright claim on this song. And I'm like, the fuck? The video in question I just deleted, I don't recall ever playing any music off my iTunes other than just playing my guitar. So I may have accidentally played a really popular song and then not realized it and then got the audio silenced for it. It's weird because I'll be just screwing around on guitar and I'll discover certain riffs and shit. You know, especially when you live in a modern day and age where everything is online. You know what I'm saying? Not everything is online, obviously, but you get what I'm saying on this. You know, this poor girl, and I've seen what YouTube can do, man. It's fucking ruthless. And I get a fair amount of crap from time to time from people on YouTube. You know, somehow they get a hold of my number. In fact, one time, someone called me on my phone. They're like, is this Josh? I'm like, yep. And they're like, well, I'm Batman. And they started doing their Batman voice. And I said, well, before I hung up on them, I said, well, this is Bane. I'm going to break your back. And then I hung up on them. The same number called back, and I had to laugh at this because I'm like, do they really think I'm not stupid? My phone has caller ID. So when I answered, I could have just ignored it. But I'm like, I'm going to get my point across. They think they're going to get to me, but they're not. I picked up the phone, and when I went to go answer it, I went, and then I hung up the phone. Did they call back after that? No, they didn't. I mean, if you're going to prank call somebody, saying you're Batman, ooh, that's real original. And I've had this happen to me for a number of years on and off. People somehow get a hold of my phone number and shit. And it's just like, well, I'm glad I have my side-by-side shotgun in case some fucking psychotic troll finds out where I live and says they want to kill me. Then again, I end up killing them first, I would, in self-defense, for one thing. And even if they did kill me, what would be the point of it, honestly? Because then you wouldn't get any fun out of it. You wouldn't have someone to troll. You just move on. You just move on to the next person. And I've had several people on the internet tell me to kill myself. And I look at that and I go, I've tried. I've come this close to doing it. But one day, man, I heard one of the musicians I look up to was doing a radio interview. You know, talking about you never know what you miss out if you do it. You know, and I look at that interview and I'm like, I'm done. Life can be challenging, yeah, but high school is the worst 4 years of your life. If you can survive high school, you can survive anything. And going through high school and junior high, I had one thing that kept me, you know, it gave me something to express myself. That's guitar, you know. And I mean, killing yourself over your cut here, I can understand why she did it. I mean, depression, you know, has a way of doing that kind of thing. But, you hear about shit like this on the fucking news. And it's like, man, and life will throw you a couple of curveballs before it gets better. And then it gets worse, and then it gets better, and then it gets worse. You know, it's that roller coaster called life. It's that highway, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather be a guitarist with a guitar and no strings than a guitarist with strings and no guitar. That's the way I look at it, YouTube. Granted, I'm not the fastest guitar learner, but I'm getting there. You know. Well, you got your guitar, why don't you put your money where your mouth is? I'll get into it. Give me a second. And, you know, I don't think, you know, the fact of the matter is that this dad just lost his daughter because of this whole incident. That's, excuse me, that's punishment enough. I don't think the dad realizes that for some girls in high school, their hair is everything, you know. And some girls, they shave it off. I mean, you don't see Miley Cyrus committing suicide over her shaved head, you know what I'm saying, or when she cut it short, whenever she cuts it short or whatever, because it's just fucking hair. Some people do it too, draw attention to themselves. But then you get people who, in those circumstances like that, you know what I'm saying, it's like, dude. If anything, it's made me look at my criteria in comparison, because I've seen, and people are trying to tell me what to fucking call it, and it has two names. It's, you know, it's irrelevant which are the two names I use. You know, I've seen documentaries on YouTube with people who do have it, and the entire top of their head is picked off, and it's like, what the fuck? I don't want it to get to that point. So that's, on me, is where I'm gonna find something to distract my hands, and for me that's guitar playing, or one of the things anyway. Then can you imagine the kind of courage it took for that girl to go to her school the next day with her head cut like that, knowing full well that she was gonna get ripped apart. And then at some point she found out that the video went viral online, and even if the video hadn't gone viral online, we have these things called smartphones. And anytime anything happens in our society, people automatically do it. They'll fucking pull out their smartphone and start videotaping whatever's going down, and then they'll put it up on fucking YouTube. Case in point, you had a lady at a Starbucks. She was asking for a cookie straw, and when she didn't give her full name to the cashier behind the counter, the manager behind the counter in question flipped a huge bitch fit. And so filmed it on YouTube. The lady was like, what? Where did this come from? And then she, as a result, the lady who got bitched at for no fucking reason whatsoever, I don't even understand why the fuck it even happened, but regardless, she got a $100 gift card to Starbucks for her. You know, she probably called corporate and said, hey, one of your people was not very nice to me, and all I did was, you know what I'm saying? And fast food restaurants, it doesn't matter what they are, they're going to have the little quirks that make them them. You see what I'm saying? And apparently Starbucks has cookie straws. Yeah. And I've had Starbucks before. I haven't like experimented or tasted with their menu, but I've had their coffee before. It's decent. But you're better off getting a percolator and a huge ass thing of coffee grounds and making your coffee at home, you know what I'm saying? It's a hell of a lot cheaper, and you get more coffee for, you know what I'm saying? And in the long run, it may cost you a couple bucks to get the percolator, and then a couple more to get a fucking can of coffee, but then, you know, that beats waiting in line. The pros and cons, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying, yeah. How the fuck did I go from talking about that girl's suicide to Starbucks? I don't fucking know. That's my YouTube channel for you, though. But, you know, and that poor girl killing herself because of the shaved head incident, you know, she'll never get to go to college with what friends she might have had. And that's the thing about high school, man. If you find a couple of good friends versus a group, that's better than no one. You know what I'm saying? That's my tip for surviving it, for those of you still going through it. Yeah. I graduated in 2010. It's now 2015, so I've been out of high school for like 5 years now. And yeah, that's my tip for surviving the worst 4 years of your life. You know, and even if people give you shit, you know, that's just the thing. Looking back on it, I don't know why the fuck people did that. Because even if you're in high school and you're part of different cliques and shit and groups, whatever the fuck you want to call it, man, you all going through the same shit to some degree. Puberty, peer pressure, parents nagging you all the goddamn time. See what I'm saying? So it's like, why the fuck you looking at the differences, huh? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Pressure to do well in school, pressure to fit in, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. But what the fuck does King Cobra know about that, right? Nada. You know, growing up in high school, I wasn't one of the popular kids, but everyone knew who I was. That's gotta mean something. And we deal with bullies in high school. I remember my senior year of high school, I'm in gym class, and it's free roam, basically. There's balls here and there, basketballs of sorts, footballs, whatever. Find something to do and stay active. That was basically what the gym teachers told us to do. But my God, I'm walking around, and I'm shooting hoops, minding my own business, and then these two juniors come by, and they just start chucking basketballs at me like it's dodgeball. And they keep missing, and I keep catching them and tossing them to the side. And there's a lot of stands in the gymnasium that are pretty much empty, you know what I'm saying? And they keep chucking them at me, and finally I get fed up with it, and I take all the balls they were chucking at me, and I shit, excuse me, I chucked them into the empty gymnasium stands, and they're all going, what? And the thing of it is, too, you two, is these little shrimpy shits are half my size. I could have easily kicked both of their asses without breaking a sweat. But I know the minute I would have overreacted, the gym teacher would have looked over and saw what I was doing, and I would have gotten in trouble for violence on campus. And I would have been like, well, wait a second. They were chucking basketballs at me, and they would have denied it. And because I was the older student, therefore I'm supposed to set an example. So instead of overreacting and pounding the shit out of them, I chucked the basketballs before I have to go and physically get the fuck out of my way to actually do those kinds of things. I look at them, I'm like, what? Really? You gonna pick on the new kid? Fucking really? Oh, you're lucky. You're lucky I'm trying to start this year off right. I was pissed about it. But then, this is where it gets even more ironic. These two smoking hot girls come over and they start talking to me. They're like, those guys are jerks. I'm like, I'm used to it. And they're like, aw. So instead of getting my ass sent to the principal's office for being violent, I got you girls to talk to me. So sometimes in life you gotta make the right decisions, you know what I'm saying? Because I guarantee you that's what exactly what in the past that's how it's always happened. You know, you get a bully or someone. I had a bully that was picking on me and he would not stop, and I finally had enough of it. And I kicked his ass, and I got suspended for fighting in school, but the bullying stopped after that. The principal looked at my dad and goes, "Well, Mr. Saunders, you know, Josh's bully got what he deserved, but you know, school policy says I have to suspend him." And the thing of it is, the bully was so bad that I got kicked out of my favorite class in junior high or early high school because that bully wouldn't leave me alone. I got put in an extra study hall for that shit. I'm like, really? Why don't? But you can't really spend your life dwelling in the past too much. Rather use it as a reflecting tool to look upon your present and work on your future. You see what I'm saying? Because each second I sit here jibber-jabbering on this fucking video is another second that's already gone, happening, or will happen. You see what I'm saying? That's kind of how time works. And that being said, this is some harsh tobacco. Those Bohemian Riff Black Cavendish. It comes in a pouch. Beats being out of cigarettes. Good stuff, too. Got a nice nicotine buzz going. Get the BC Rich out here. my tuning. Oh, hold on a second. You see that shit right? I'm about to go play the guitar. The fucking bracelet snaps off. Oh, fuck. Technical difficulty. Screen was playing. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, now back to the tempo. But, you know, when you got arms like these, people gotta fuck with you a little bit. Because they think it's funny until they get their asses kicked. I'm not the kind of person that's just quick to jump to a fight. But if one needs to happen, you best believe I ain't gonna go down without fighting. Just because you're big and macho doesn't mean you have to go looking for fights. You see what I'm saying, YouTube? It's one of those things. These people who do this kind of thing because they can. And it just kind of perpetuates more bullshit into the problems. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you how many times I've had a really shitty day in a junior high or high school, and I just be like, fuck it. I go home, plug in my guitar, don't give a shit how it sounds, just fucking play the damn thing. So I found it to be very therapeutic, to say the least. Music! Let's try that riff again. Maybe the... Playing some Sex album, I am. It's like, you know, this is the thing about parents who extremely punish their kids like that. Now, I'm sure in his heyday, I'm willing to bet you that dad who shaved his daughter's head for humiliation purposes, I'm sure he's might have had a beer or two. I'm sure he's had a beer or two in his day, and he didn't get messed up. But the point is, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody likes getting called out on their hypocrisy. But when you're doing shit like that, okay, it's punishment enough that he lost his daughter to this crap. I'm sure now he's wishing he hadn't filmed it, let alone shaved her head. You know, I can't imagine going through something like that. You know, life has a way of kicking you in the ass and making you appreciate little things. that dad's gonna have to, that dad in particular is gonna have to live with that the rest of his life, knowing he humiliated his daughter to the point of suicide. And yeah. And if you find that, life tends to eat you apart a little bit, you gotta find something to rise above it. Even if you don't have... What was it? Music to rise above the sun's There we go. Almighty rain coming down upon us all. Thunder booming like the cannons of fiery hell. Almighty rain coming down upon us all. Cleansing Mother Earth of all the sorrow. Almighty rain coming down upon us all. Lightning striking swiftly like a cobra through the night. Almighty rain coming down upon us all. This is an in drop C. The first top three are, but the bottom three aren't. do is talk so much shit, they might as well be pooping on the fucking toilets. Making up a song as I go, if I don't like my skill or my flow, you can go blow a pelican dick. Cause every hater out there is a pelican fucker. Every hater out there is a pelican fucker. It's obnoxiously inappropriate and also catchy. You gotta admit, come on now, come on. Every hater out there is a pelican fucker. All they do is talk their shit every day. And now, when people say I'm horrible at guitar and singing, it's like, well, okay, let me just warm up my voice real quick. is involving me just plucking the second string from the top lowest and seeing if I can match my vocal to it, or my voice to it, excuse me. Oh, fuck, that's pretty high for the low string. Sloppy at times, but not bad. Then you gotta warm up the shriek, too, just because you can. Some people will be like, oh, you can shriek like that and you feel not impressive. But for those Cradle-of-Filth fans and true metal enthusiasts, they look at that and go, damn! And that's something I'm definitely known for doing on YouTube. I'm not trying to brag or nothing, I'm just saying. Also, warming up the shriek, you can do it in, like, it's best to keep that sharp if you're, you know, doing the same thing you're doing with the, up there. Shit. So even when you're tuning your guitar, you can also work on your singing by trying to match the pitch of the string. I love it when people say I suck at guitar. Okay, granted, I will admit I'm not the world's greatest guitarist out there, but at least I'm trying. And then, in the midst of my trying, I show my progress on YouTube. That's tough to put yourself out there sometimes. You know, people do courageous things every day. And it's not like people are trying to compete over who's more courageous. And it's not like people are, you know what I'm saying, but I hear people trying to turn into one of those things. Oh, they're just competing because, over, you know, oh, it's fucking frustrating. So I posted some shit on Facebook, and I'm like, why? The fuck? Are we fighting about petty things like these? It doesn't make any sense, does it? No, it doesn't. People were posting several celebrities and various people who have done courageous things and saying, it's not a contest. People do courageous things every day. Yeah, you're right, it's not a contest, but at the same time, you don't have to be a dick about it. I'm just saying. I've been playing guitar for a minute. You know, I've been playing since junior high, and right now I've been playing since I got off work. So my fingers are like, ah. And when you look at your fingers, they're all black and blistered from playing guitar. Yep. I'm still trying to figure out what fucking song I might have used that could have gotten my last video silenced. That's pretty much how I did a last video, just like this one, before I had to delete it, because when I went to the message, it said, or the messages, no, the thing below it, it said, the audio in this video was silenced due to a claim. I'm like, the fuck is this? What claim? What song did I play? I'm trying to figure it out, and I can't quite figure out what song it was, and it's irrelevant to the point, isn't it? Indeed. So hopefully this video posts.